anyone is acceptable for the treatment as long as they are over the age of 18, they're not pregnant and they're not breastfeeding. Anybody who is currently on any medication or who is having any treatment for an illness, we may need to speak about that first, and it may be that a doctor needs to give them consent just to prove that they can have the treatment. The lip treatment will take probably about 2 hours maximum. Obviously each client is different, so we take it at their pace, so you know, whatever they need for them to feel comfortable. The treatment starts with us completing all the paperwork, the consent and the medical history. So that'll just go and ask a number of questions for the client just to make sure obviously that they're giving me all the relevant information that we need. And obviously the terms of the treatment, it'll just explain a little bit more about the treatment and what they can expect. Then we'll sit down and we'll go through the treatment plan. The treatment plan basically is individual to each client, so it's just talking about what their expectations are, what they're hoping to get from the treatment, and we can obviously talk about what's the best way of doing that. So some may just want a lip liner, some may want a lip blush, and some may want a full colour. So when they're showing me obviously what their expectations are, what they're hoping to achieve, then I can kind of advise what treatment would be best for them. A lip liner is exactly what it is. So it is just pigment that's implanted just around the line of the lip. The blush is the next step, which is also the most popular. That is a lip liner and then it's blended in stages. So it'll be a lip liner and then it'll be shaded in. So it'll be darker from the outside and blended into the middle, with the middle of your lip being its complete natural colour.
Wow.
It actually gives the illusion that your lips are bigger as well, so it's very popular for ladies with smaller lips that want them to stand out more without having filler.
Oh, fantastic.
And obviously the full colour is a consistent colour throughout the lip. The first part obviously is choosing the colour, so it's looking at what colour the client wants to achieve at the end. Colours go to like a lip gloss density, so they don't look like lip gloss, but that's kind of the colour. So it's not full-on lipstick like what I'm wearing now, it's more of a faded sort of colour, but they will be very bright to start with. So the first thing is obviously we choose our colour, and then what I would do is I will mark out the lip liner so that the client can see where the very edge of the pigment is going to be implanted and can agree that that's where the liner of their lip is.
Okay.
We start with doing the lip liner, so I would use an outline needle. Don't want to scare anyone by saying needle. It's actually not as painful as people probably think. The main part of the treatment, obviously the lip liner, is probably the most uncomfortable part of the treatment.
Yeah.
And that's why I say sometimes it can take a bit longer because we just go at the client's pace. Most of the time what I find is it's more nerves and the anticipation and people not being sure what's coming. Most of the time the reaction is, okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So it's like people get themselves worked up.
Yeah, because you don't know beforehand.
No.
So, yeah.
So we'll do the lip liner first, all the way around the outside. We'll do that 2 to 3 times just to make sure that the colour's implanted. The first time is mainly just breaking the skin, just making sure that the pigment line is where it's meant to be. The second stage is obviously just making sure that that's implanted to where it's going to heal and going to stay.
Amazing.
And then what we will do is we'll change over the needle to one that blends the colour. And then the next stage is obviously the blending. So for your treatment, I believe it's a lip blush today.
Yeah.
So we would do the first stage of blending from the outside in. And then what we would do on the next stage is take it from the outside and then a bit further in.
Okay.
Each stage I would be blending, the first stage I'd be blending a little bit tighter, and then the second stage it would be a little bit looser, and therefore you'd have the build-up of pigment, and as it comes down, it would fade. So the aftercare, obviously I'll go through all of your aftercare with you afterwards and just remind you that the treatment is going to be much, much darker to start with. It'll look like a very, very bright lipstick. Your lips are likely to feel quite sore afterwards. You need to be careful with them, you need to be gentle with them. Keep them dry. Obviously if you're drinking drinks that are quite hot or cold, then I'd advise that you drink out of a straw. And just be careful of what foods you eat that day. Obviously nothing spicy, nothing that's going to get into the lips, because obviously they are going to be sore.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's going to feel like your lips are chapped. If you've ever had sore chapped lips before, that's what's going to happen. The lips are actually the fastest healing process I've found.
Brilliant.
And it normally takes about 4 days for the lips, the bright colour to start coming away.
Okay.
And then I will give you a vitamin ointment that you will need to use on your lips. And a lot of people find that using Blistex helps as well. any semi-permanent makeup treatments, if you haven't had them done before, it's a 2-treatment process. So today we're looking at obviously getting as much colour in as we can. On your top-up treatment, we're looking at perfecting the treatment. So we're looking at how the pigment is taken. If you have any patching from your healing process, obviously correcting that. We're also looking at the colour, because the pigment colour mixes with the undertone of your skin. Okay. So I could use the same pigment on 10 different people and the colour would be slightly different each time. Wow. So it's looking at how the pigment's taken on your skin, and then obviously looking at whether we need to add a different colour to warm it up or make it more pinky or red to get the colour that you're looking to achieve. Yeah. Obviously you are going to have some swelling with this treatment. That normally goes down within a couple of hours. It's very unlikely that you would need to take anything for pain relief afterwards. If you're not allergic and you can take ibuprofen and you wanted to, then obviously that would be at your discretion. How are you feeling?
Perfect. That was really good. Didn't hurt at all. I was waiting for the pinch or something, but that's amazing.
How are your lips feeling now?
They feel like they're out here, but I'm guessing they're not.
They're not, no.
And it just looks brilliant. I love it.
Let me just tidy you up. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do your after pictures, and then what I'm going to apply to you is some vitamin A and D ointment.
Okay. What does that do?
It's just going to protect your lips. Obviously, we've just had a treatment done. It's a tattoo. So basically what you have at the moment is an open wound on your lips. Okay. And obviously what we don't want is for anything to get into them that could cause infection. And we want them to start healing as quickly as possible. So this is just going to protect them. What you may find is that they're a bit tender today. You may have a bit of a tingly feeling or a bit of a throbbing feeling. And then you may notice some bruising in the area. What I've noticed is just around here, you may have a slight bruise. Again, nothing that should affect you majorly. It just will feel a little bit tender as it heals.
Yeah,
okay. I'm just going to apply some ointment to you. When you apply it, just apply it with either a clean finger or a clean cotton bud. Okay. Once you've done the bottom, if you've done it with a cotton bud, I don't want you to take that back to the sachet. Okay. I want you to turn it around so it's nice and clean, because again, we don't want anything that could cross-contaminate and cause infection. So like I say, your healing process could take up to 2 weeks. Lips are normally much quicker, but the pigment will still be changing and the area will still be quite dry. So continue to use this for the 2 weeks. You'll notice that most of the crusty sort of scabbing will come off probably within 4 to 5 days.
Okay. And then after that, can I put lip balm on as normal, or do you avoid that?
Once they've fully healed, you can do whatever you need to do with them. So lipstick, lip balm, anything, but they need to be fully healed before you do anything with them. Give it 2 weeks. Your pigment will be fading for up to 4 weeks. So your top-up treatment can't be done before the 4-week mark, and it's recommended that you come back to me within 12 weeks. Okay, so between 4 to 12 weeks for your top-up appointment, and then that will just perfect the treatment. If you've got any where the scabs will come off, you may have a slight patching or slight fading,
the colour,
so that will just correct all of that.
Oh, lovely, thank you.
Whenever you feel ready, Tracy, just sit yourself up. If you feel dizzy or anything, just let me know. Just take your time.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Oh, I love them.
It actually looks like I'm wearing makeup. Like, incredible. It's now 12 hours since my treatment, and as you can see, my lips are literally human. They're still a little bit swollen, but that will go down as the days progress. And at the moment, they feel absolutely fine. I'm in no pain or discomfort. I didn't take any painkillers throughout, simply because it thins the blood. So the procedure itself, I was really amazed at the fact that I didn't feel a thing. I was really expecting it to pinch, to hurt, to scratch, to burn. But, you know, halfway through, I even said to Kira, which lip are you working on, the top or the bottom? Because I couldn't feel. It was more like a kind of vibrating buzzing, like kind of a soft tapping like that, if anything, like a sensation. But as you go over the lip quite a few times, you kind of lose the sensation anyway, and then you don't feel it. So the more you get into it, the less apparent it is what she's actually doing. And to start with, my lips felt like they were out here, they were quite numb and swollen, and now they're kind of shrinking back. I'm absolutely fine. I slept well last night. I just applied the healing cream to my lips, making sure that I wash my hands beforehand, because you don't want anything to touch the skin and cause infection, because it is an open wound. I've been using these lovely straws to drink and to eat, just because you don't want to get anything on the lip at all. And I've been having soup, which is really, really good for a diet, and it just makes you feel quite cleansed and detoxed as well. So not only are you having a beauty treatment, but you're also having a weight loss plan. I'm going to try and eat some solid food today and make sure that when I open my mouth, I kind of pass it in without touching anything, and then I can chew. I brushed my teeth absolutely fine. I was just careful to spit very carefully so it didn't fall onto my lips. I'm not in any pain or discomfort, as you can see. I'm really happy, and I'm about to go on a photo shoot now, so we'll see how today goes. I will show you pictures throughout the healing, and day 4 I'm expecting it to scab and go quite dry, which then means that my mouth will be quite crusty and everything has to drop off, but that's the final healing, and then I can go back for a top up in a month's time. So I'm really happy with my lips, and if you have any questions, send them over to me and I'll answer them. I love my new pout.